It's time!
So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We gonna party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. We gonna party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this.
Hello, Pearls.
Young blood made of gold. A mind you can't control.
Let's get it started.
Running wild, can't calm down. My head is in the clouds.
Here we go.
Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We gonna party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this.
Almost Friday.
We gotta party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries, let's go for now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I drag you out your mind, and there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And then we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me.
The moon thinks he's a star. 5 wives later, he's played too far. Crystal clear lies wrapped in a charm. Slicked back hair, no cause for alarm. He says, don't talk about my ride outside. Camper hooked up, got nothing to hide. Dates all a blur, shadows in the mist. Police got stories, but he just twists. Oh, Edgar with your devilish grin. Words like silk get soaked in sin. You spin the sails while we just stare. Under that mullet, there's nothing fair. Wife number four, she walked away. Said couldn't handle his twisted play. Edgar just laughed, flicked his bangs. Another tale in his liar's gang. He says he's crystal clear, but we all know beneath the surface lies start to show. Truth and fiction blur in his game. Edgar's the king of shifting blame. Oh, Edgar with your devilish grin. Words like silk get soaked in sin. You spin the sails while we just stare. Under that mullet, there's nothing fair.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. It's so good to be here with my pearls today. It's a little later than normal, but we made it nonetheless. It's so good to see you all. Today is January 9th, 2025. It is 8:42 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Hello. So good to see you all. Thank you all so very much for joining me. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending time with me. Want to thank Don. Thank you so much for 10 months, my dear. Really do appreciate you. Thank you for 10 continuous months. Yo, thank you so much, my love. Really do appreciate you. Hatter, I hope you feel better, my friend. I really do. Um, it's rough. I know that. I know that. CT and everyone on the West Coast right now, all the prayers to you guys. Uh, it's it looks apocalyptic. I mean, it really does. Um, and Margaret is right. We need to pray for each other. We're all dealing with something. Praying for you all. That's the best love you can give. I love you all. We love you too, Miss Margaret, and I agree. I do agree for that for sure. For sure. Everybody's dealing with something always, right? Always. And thank you so much for saying that. I really do appreciate you. Wendy, 7 months coming in clutch. To Justin, Remy, and Pearl. Hello. Oh, your little pooch is so cute, Wendy. Thank you so much for 7 continuous months. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Thank you. And Brown Eyed Girl, Justin, love you too, Brown Eyed Girl. Thank you so very much. Really do appreciate you very much, my dear. All right. Lots of little things going on here. Um, it really is bliss. And um, you know, the news that's heavy, uh, you know, really uh it's okay to take a break. You should take a break. Um, you know what I mean? And like I always say, like the negative people, negative news and all of that, really limit yourself on doing that. True Crime Junkie, they're coming. I promise. I promise. I've been so busy. So busy. Uh but yeah, they are coming. I promise. Uh but really you will notice a difference in your attitude. You'll know, you really will. Uh People that are constantly uh just being cruel for no reason, or the news or whatever, you'll notice a difference. You really will. Thank you so much, dear Bliss. Really do appreciate you. Um, I watched and Stay in the Bushes, but I have something I want to point out about Mr. Edgar not explaining his whereabouts for an entire month. All right, Annie, let's hear it. Let's hear it. I would love to hear that. Uh, you don't got to be in the bushes. You're welcome to come out. The water's fine. It's safe. Terry, yeah, so sorry for your loss, honey. So sorry. It's, you know, am I a little is my volume down a little bit? I was kind of probably talking a little low and I had the fan a little bit on me. Is that better? Let me know if that's better. Um Run with Scissors. Thank you so much. Wrong one. Thank you so much for 2 months. Bring Sebastian home. Absolutely. Thank you so much, my dear. Really do appreciate you. Thank you so very much for 2 continuous months. Good to see you, my dear. And MTB, thank you so much for renewing your membership. Really do appreciate you. Oh, you're fine, my dear. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate that. Mine's about to expire too. Actually, when did mine expires? I think at the end of the month or something like that. So, um, oh, thank you, Julie. Thank you so much. I hear that Nick and Hung has been on the X today, from what I understand. I was going to pull those up before we get started. Hung, I said Hung. Let's see if we got anything on at night. Let's get it started, folks. Okay. Hung is on fire, is he? I'm not I'm not a big tweeter or X, whatever it is. It just hung. Okay. Uh Here we go. All right. Oh, damn. He's slamming people. So it's not at night at all. Let's see here. Why did Cluminati and Cletus Toilets start talking one day? It looked at them and said, y'all need to clean me more often or I'll start spreading rumors about chlamydia in the house. Oh my God. Squeak. Dang, Hung. It just hung. Okay. I'm not big on X myself, but Hung was on a roll. Huh. What did Edgar and KK and the Bowerfoots and the other Clue and other Chris and the other Chris have in common? They know what happened. Yep. Clue and her fiance have a McMansion, huh? Must be nice to live in luxury when your only workout is lifting the remote. I wonder if you're pushing more product than dumbbell to keep up with the mortgage. What's product? I normally not big index, but I have been responding to morons attacking Lore Lodge. Yeah, it's just sad. You know what I mean? Like, it's just sad. Like, it's okay to have different opinions, right? But why do people attack other people for having that different opinion? Like, I don't mind arguing or debating about the case, but why do people make it insulting each other? That's the question. Yeah, Sally, we're going to cover it. We're going to cover that. Have different opinions. We can debate all day. I don't understand it. Who taught you how to swing, Edgar? Your mama or her pet chimp? Terry swinging punches like you're trying to tenderize meat at the zoo. Where does he come up with this? Where does he come up with this? Am I okay? I hope so. Why? Should I? Am I supposed to? Should I? I hope. What else? Why an adult film professional, rug dealer, and addict continue to charade around it is beyond me. This is real crew. You slamming mine, at least we're up front. Are you? Question mark. Damn, how many did he do? We've scoured more than 10 states on this mission. No sign of Sebastian yet, but we've unearthed a treasure trove of secrets. Keep pushing. Steve, it just shows you're out of touch with your own clients. You don't know them like we do. He reposted screenshots of chat with TBI or SF. What do you mean with TBI misinformation? Kind of looks like they've been crying. It's probably the lighting. Nope. Nope. The group text. What do you mean the group text? See, I am so love you too, Chatter. I'm so out of it. Like, I don't know. I really don't watch anybody else hardly. So I hate to say I'm giving up hope to find Summer or Sebastian, and I'm losing hope. Which Maddie Loudmouth? Keep the faith. Keep the faith. We got to keep the faith, Loudmouth. We got to keep the faith. It was a setup. It was to set up a three-way call. LOL. It was his. But I don't understand. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Does anyone know where the date of the last CPS report? Allegedly, it was January 28th. You can't give up on those who, yeah. That's right. Like, you see, this is the thing. Like, I I was truthfully done with this case. Like I was going to move on a while back, and then Seth did that interview with Court TV, and he said, you know, because they were asking where's the mom? Like she's refusing interviews. Thank you, Bev. And all of that. And Seth said it doesn't feel like a shared goal. And he said, well, at least, I have Sebastian's army. And I thought, damn, why do you say that? Because the show you are about Sebastian, not the drama. I learned a long time ago when I found you that, oh, thank you, Nancy. You guys are very kind. Thank you all so much. Screenshot link. Yeah, I don't, he doesn't mind typing away on X, but he puts on a show for the authorities. He assumed I didn't have the lead TBI agent's number. This guy is all talk. Ooh. Damn, he's really been going hard. I think Guidance just texted me. Okay. I'll look at that. All right. Let's go back down here and see what else there is. Is there anything about Sebastian? Katie's little escapades are old news, but guess what? The family drama doesn't stop there. Miss Bowerfoot, have you told Mr. Bowerfoot about your nightly visits to the neighbor's bed? Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Oh, snap.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way. Gotcha, bitch.
Okay, that made me a little uncomfortable. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Oh. Suck it now. Oh. Suck it now. Oh. Suck it now. Oh. Suck it now. Oh. Suck it now.
Hong is going at it. Damn. He just said, you and your clients will be in jail together. Now let's talk about the affair, comma, shall we? Question mark. KK just stood there while her man hit her son and threw his daughter on the table. What kind of mother does that? They should have stopped you from having kids. You're a total disgrace. Damn. I mean, I agree with that actually. Like, why would you let this man whip your child? Why? Makes no sense. It's ridiculous. Edgar isn't allowed to be near two children. One is his biological child and the other one is his stepson. There's a reason behind this restriction. I don't know if that's true, because I mean he's allowed around his daughter. Did I just see what Nick posted? No, but we'll look here in just a second. His mother is more furious than him. Why is that? Miss Bowerfoot, are you living your dream through your son? She desperately wants a child. How far would she go? Leave it to and his team to go on YouTube live stream and joke about drug abuse and addiction. Wow. Oh my God. He said, wow. Crack tree out there in the woods, not looking for Sebastian, but for his next high. Guessed he thought Fisher's book was a guide to getting higher than the treetops. Oh, War Eagle, are you in here? He reposted something you put. Damn. No, a fly on the wall. No, not at all. Not at all. I know without a shadow of a doubt, Seth Rogers had nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with this. And I know that it is extraordinarily bizarre that 280 days later, a mother and a stepfather are not speaking about their missing child. Heaven's little angel, thank you so very much. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Thank you so much. Nick posted something about in chat, not a separate post. Above it. Oh, Nick's in here? Okay. I didn't see. Where's Nick? Where's Nicholas? I don't know where I don't see him. But there's I don't see him. If he can, someone can write it. Or if he can retext it or write it in chat. And I don't know why a man who claims nothing wrong, nothing to see here, says he can't talk about Sunday afternoon when he alleges he is in Mississippi. I don't know why a man who says after around the 5th of February says he can't say what days he was home. Why? That's the question. I don't understand why he flat out lied and said, yeah, he had taken a polygraph on the first interview. And then lies to Nancy, doesn't take a polygraph. We've proposed to him for all three of them to go take a polygraph together. Record it. In crime, like I always say in crime, people who have nothing to hide nothing. You just want to clear it out and move on. Right? Why do Katie and Contradictory have in common? Same drug dealer. That's how they met. Let's get back to the person of interest.
Just like I told you yesterday. If you want to talk to me, you come up here and talk to me. Go back and forth with you.
Why are people spending their lives on fucking Twitter constantly when they could just simply just be like, hey, what's up? What did I get wrong?
I don't know. This seems more like a pissing match, and it seems more like he got his little feelings hurt because Chris doesn't want to go on his channel.
I mean, Chris doesn't go on anyone's channel. I mean, he did what's the guy's name? Truth. Elevated Truth. There we go. Yeah, Inquisitive, we're going to get to that in just a minute. And I think it's just because he was triggered like a mother chicken. Did KK know Crabfoot prior? Like maybe same line of work. I don't know. I think it was Brittany said in her chat one day that Kathy and his mom or something are friends or co-workers or something like that. But I don't really know nothing about him. So Laura Lodge, Hong reposted Laura Lodge. So apparently all these people hating on me for my opinion on Sebastian Rogers' case think that when I talk about our documentary series, I'm referring to the live we do on Mondays. I have no words, even if the live show we reference the documentary. It's amazing, this case. It really feels more like now defending the parents than it does about finding answers, finding where Sebastian is. Right now, for me personally, what's very important to me is knowing where Edgar was on the night Sebastian went missing. Sunday evening, Sunday evening, Sunday night, going into Monday morning. And I need to show y'all something here in a second as well. And then, of course, going into, Monday morning. If Edgar wasn't allowed to be in the home after the last CPS report, that would make sense to why he can't verify when he's home and when he wasn't. Yes. Remember, Edgar said he didn't know how many CPS reports just the other day is he said this. Does he not know, or does he not want to answer? Because those are two different things. I don't know how you would forget something like that. Yeah, passion flower she is. How many CPS reports can you get on a child before they will not allow you back in the home for? Annie, there is no specific amount. It really varies from house call to house call, if it's founded, if it's unfounded. But I personally feel like something is there. Well, and I believe Seth as well when he says, if we knew what was in those reports, they would keep us up at night, right? So there's that. Thank you, Hey Jude. Thank you so very much. Really do appreciate it. Packet snacks for Trishy and Jude. That's so cute. Thank you so much, my dear. It depends on the incident. Yes, all of that. All that. It does. So there's a lot to it. So there's a hi Linda, good to see you. Let's see here.
Not to the village drunk, not to the gossiping women. Me, I solve cases with nothing but 2 rocks, a bamboo stick and wisdom. Now Steve Fisher, Christopher Proudfoot, Cluaminati, and Claras. You for Hyena sniffing powder in the woods. What are you doing? Searching for Sebastian Rogers, or trying to get high enough to shake hands with God. Powder doesn't bring answers. My friends, it only makes fools dance. You are a drunken coward hiring druggies to snort instead of search.
What the hell?
It is I, Bentley, again. Now, Proudfoot, let's talk about you, the man with the long arm of a wife beater who now shakes at the side of his own wife, Katie. She's not just the man in your relationship. She is the general. She has the strap on the snot goods. And the brain
What did he say?
in your relationship. She is the general. She has the strap on the snot goods.
She has the what? That's what I thought. Okay. Ouch. Okay. Just making sure I heard that right.
And the brain to keep you in check. Most women may have the brain, but Katie? No. Katie runs the show. And you? You are nothing but her puppet. Dancing to her powder, dusted strings. Stop embarrassing yourselves. All of you, get off the powder. Out of the woods and do something useful before the ancestors start laughing at you, at your foolishness. That's how the ancestor will laugh at you.
Alrighty then. Okay. Oh, there's another one.
Not to the gossiping women. Me, I solve cases with nothing but 2 rocks, a bamboo stick and wisdom. Now Steve Fisher, Christopher Proudfoot, Cluaminati.
This is a guy. Yeah, we need closed captions. Count Dracula. And then he says, I guess he's giving Chris a message.
And Claras. You for Hyena sniffing powder in the woods. What are you doing? searching for Sebastian Rogers, or trying to get high enough to shake hands with God. Powder doesn't bring answers. My friends, it only makes fools dance. You are a drunken coward hiring druggies to snort instead of search. Huh? It is I, Bentley, again. Now, Proudfoot, let's talk about you, the man with the long arm of a wife beater who now shakes at the side of his own wife, Kitty. She's not.
Okay, I think we heard that one. Let's see here. Could the phone call be his alibi?
Chris have an alibi? Well, Chris calls her while in Memphis.
Now, I respectfully disagree with him on this. I don't, in my opinion, I don't think Edgar was in Memphis Sunday. I don't think so. I think we would have heard all about what he did Sunday otherwise. Oh yeah. I went to, Mabel's Diner and ate lunch, whatever. But he doesn't want to talk about Sunday evening. Doesn't want to talk about that. So I don't think it's that personally.
Leaves the phone on the charger, drives out to Hendersonville. It's about a 3-hour drive, a little over, about 3 hours, 15 minutes that time of night.
Is it possible? Yes. It's possible. Sure is. I just don't think so.
Drives out to Hendersonville. Whatever transpires. Maybe she hangs the phone up when he gets there. Because remember, 3-hour phone call. Interesting, right? Let's think about when they said this phone call started. Chris gave a very specific time, which is weird because he wasn't very specific about anything else. There were like a couple of really specific things he says, and then there's a lot of vagueness. Chris said he called around 9:43 or 9:46. He said it takes 3 hours and 27 minutes, to the minute to get from point A to point B, which, by the way, no, there's no way that drive is going to be the same exact amount of time every single time down to the.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of time there is, there's traffic, if you go through cities or whatever, there's more traffic. And got glasses. You're funny. But like if he left at, 9:46 or something like that, it's very possible. I mean, it could have been done.
Because this is an interstate, which means that depending on the time of day, the length of that drive is going to change.
It is. Yeah, he's right. He's right. It's dog. That's such a funny video.
Because if you think about.
Okay. All right, let's get on with the show. Let's do it. Guidance, thank you so much, my dear, for removing your membership. We really do appreciate you. Thank you, my dear. And Reality coming in for 10 months. Really do appreciate you. Wow, time flies. Love you, Brooke. We love you too, my dear. Thank you so much, Reality. Always a pleasure seeing you. Darren, thank you so much. It's been quite a busy day over on X, I guess. Yeah, I don't keep up with it, but it certainly has, Sharon. Certainly has. Yeah. Toilets and strap-ons and anger. Oh my, it's been a day. It's been a day. So Deception Detective does another video on Edgar and KK. And I have some thoughts that I would like to share with you on that. If I can pull it up, maybe. I thought I had it pulled up. Okay, here it is. Here it is. I was listening to it. Make sure you are subscribed to Deception Detective for people in chat and the replay. Specifically for the replay crew, it is linked down in the description. Make sure you guys, I'm sure most of you guys are subbed to the Deception Detective, as the other day we ended our live and we all went over there when he was doing his premiere. Deception Detective, Peter Hyatt, Pat Brown are some of my favorite statement analysis, behavioral analysis on YouTube. Thank you, Monique, for being number 664. If we get to 1,000 likes, we have a chicken party, and you don't want to miss the chicken party. Okay, you don't want to miss it. Sorry, but you do not leave out blankets, coats, shoes, and food at your own home for your child who knows the code to my door, in my opinion. It never made that, in my opinion, that was for show. Just to be, that's just my honest feeling about it. Like, let's say Sebastian came home. I mean, what do you expect him to sit out on the porch while you're sleeping, or you're, inside cooking? Like, that makes no sense. I'm sure he would knock on the door at the very least, or know the code. But now that you say that, Mohawk, I have a text somewhere. Remember whenever they said, I think it might have been a day before or a few days before, maybe a week before, Sebastian got out of the car, ran to, maybe he was checking the mail, if I recall correctly, and he ran to the front door. He was like skipping. And then he goes to the door. She said you could tell he was in a playful mood. And he goes to the door and he's getting ready to go inside, but he turns around and goes through the garage. Right. And that's the thing, Heather. Exactly. I thought he knew the code to get in. I mean, he either does or he doesn't, right? So, I mean, I would think that he did, because he came home from school by himself. KK didn't get off till later. I mean, unless it was changed, but I don't understand. Yeah. So, yep. Yep. There you go. Oh, thank you so much, Nurse Sandy. Thank you, my dear. Really do appreciate you. You received that pearl necklace. Make sure you give our dear Nurse Sandy a big, big thank you. So sweet of you, my dear. Really do appreciate you for that. Thank you. Yes, Justin, but did she let him out halfway up the driveway the 25th? No. 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 You can't, from what I understand, you can't tell who is in KK's car. You can't even see if she's in it, really. But they go straight into the garage. So they left food out like a cat. Yes, essentially, yes. And she changed the chocolate milk to Yoo-hoo's because, quote, the chocolate milk was going bad. Yeah. My foster son, autistic, would run and also hide, ran off from his birth mom. He would lay down and curl up in a ball outside anywhere, and on my porch too. Never knocked. I was always looking, checking. Right. And that's the thing. I mean, that is, a behavior for, some autistic children or some children in general, right? But at 15, you're probably not going to start, being a wanderer, right? If you're scared of that kind of stuff, right? So it doesn't set true with me, in my opinion. Credit goes to our friend and yours, Deception Detective, one of the best on YouTube. I saw where Betty got the Deception deck of cards. I'm going to order me the deck as well. Let's put up. Let's give him credit right up here as well. Bear with me 1 second. All right. Without further ado, let's get started. Above all, leaving the house so soon tells me all I need to know. Yeah. Yeah, he has a deception deck, and I love my you have a set? I'm gonna order me a set. All kids, when they're laughing or quiet, you better go see what they're doing. Yes. That's when something is up, right? When kids all get, they're loud and they're playing and all that, and then they get quiet, right? They think, oh, if we be quiet, they don't think anything of it. But that's when you worry, is when they get quiet. Thank you so much, Smiley, my dear. Did you say she left him food? If you mean food, yes. KK, in the days after Sebastian, you mean food, yeah. After Sebastian went missing, she put like food and blankets and chocolate milk out on the front porch, in case he, I guess, came back home. And she said the chocolate milk started going bad, so she started putting Yoo-hoos out. I agree, Veronica. I agree. Then left town. Yeah. Yeah. Then left town. That's exactly right. In case neighbors were watching him up. Right, Kelsey. It just, but they left town. Yeah. Yep. Sure did. Because he could be anywhere. I don't know. that makes me speechless, to be honest with you. To me, it's just literal show for show. How about staying home instead of gallivanting? Exactly. Yep, exactly. Hen house. Yep. I mean, I don't know.
And Chris, we've talked about this as well, is that Katie has been so quiet. Now, there's two reasons why I can understand Katie being quiet. One, every time y'all come out and talk, it's ripped apart. I get that.
I can't. Every time Seth comes out, does a live or whatever, he's ripped apart. Right? He still does it because it's not about him. That's the difference. If you, especially, with a missing child, if you are making it about you to begin with, you're doing it wrong. You are, because it's not about Seth, it's not about KK, and it's not about Edgar. They should be doing it for Sebastian and Sebastian only. Now, does that mean they need to answer questions? Of course, because kids don't leave on their own like this. They just don't. Not Sebastian.
And two, she may not be very good or do very well at public speaking. Okay.
There is all types, heaven forbid, but all types of families, and backgrounds of children that go missing, and their families. Oh, I put Jennifer. Sorry, God, I meant that one. Sorry. Thank you for telling me. I apologize. I had the wrong title up. So yeah, it's that just doesn't sit right either. Yeah, I had the full credit wrong. I apologize. I fixed that. Thank you for telling me.
But I think that the issue that people have is that they haven't been able to humanize Katie because Katie has been so far away from the situation. And I think that people in general, in order to humanize somebody, they have to feel like they know the person. Does that make sense?
I mean, I get what he's saying. But I think it's about, yes, it is about humanizing, but it's also about being the parental figure, right? You are the last person to be with him. The last. And you're not speaking out? Why?
Even if we don't know them at all, we have to feel like we can understand them or relate to them. And the fact that Katie has been so quiet, it puts a lot of people off. Now, Katie has the right to be quiet, but on the same note, if Katie has the right to be quiet, then people have the right to question the quietness.
This is my third video analyzing this interview. If you missed parts 1 and 2, don't worry, I'll link them at the end.
Ooh, Deception Objective's got a black coat on today. Looks snazzy. So when it comes to KK, yes, she has every right to be quiet, right? You do. But that is definitely not average for a mother that says her son just walked out the door to be quiet. It's just not. Would look good in a burlap set. I agree.
For now, here's what you really need to know. At the time of this live stream, Sebastian had been missing for 10 months. His mom, Katie Proudfoot, was the last person to see him alive and only did a handful of interviews before going radio silent. So when Elevated Truth says that she has the right to be silent and we have the right to question that, he's exactly correct. For the biological mother of a missing child to stop doing press is unusual. Besides Elevated Truth, there are 4 other true crime tubers on this panel, as well as Chris Proudfoot. Chris is Sebastian's stepdad, and he was apparently out of town when Sebastian went missing. That will be important for later. With all that in mind, let's keep listening.
It's kind of a 50-50. So unfortunately, for you come out and talk. You don't have a problem doing that. It is what it is, right? And you speak for Katie a lot of the times, as I would expect you to do, because you're her husband, right? That's what we do in the South. My question is there going to be a time that Katie is going to...
I get the sentiment that, a husband speaks for their wife at times, right? But even if you're in Timbuktu, a mother does not need anyone to speak for her, especially when Edgar wasn't there. Sebastian, out of 2 blood family, there's his mom, his biological mom, his biological dad, and a stepfather. Out of all three, one is speaking. One is doing everything that he can. Everything that he can. He has searched. He has, the community has embraced Seth. They've done, different events and all of that. And they tried to do that with KK and Edgar as well. They didn't do it. When things like this happen, community is very important. It's very, very important. And it makes you wonder, why? Why would you not want to be around people who are saying, here's my hand, let me help you? Right? This is the hardest thing you'll ever go through in your life. Take my hand, we'll do it together as a community. Nope. Edgar and KK send ambassadors. Or no one at all. Right? The one who is still doing the interviews. The one who has showed his time card. The one where he did the lie detector test. Not because he had to, but because he had nothing to hide. And so when you have, a mother who says, I miss my son, and I have no doubt that she misses Sebastian. I absolutely believe she misses Sebastian. But it just doesn't correlate with how people normally behave. Now, you can say everyone acts different. in crisis. You're absolutely right. But it is definitely not average. And it's definitely I mean, you can say you're grieving, and no doubt I understand that. But even in like our grief, right, he's still missing. He could still be out there. He still is somewhere. He is somewhere. So do you just like throw your hands up in the air and just say, oh well? Or do you put that grief into action for searching for your son, for doing those interviews, getting as many faces to see Sebastian as humanly possible?
Not speak to YouTube, because like I've said to you before, I think that's pointless, right? But to go out and speak directly to Sebastian, or respectfully, is the reason that that's not happening because
the most concerning issue, in my opinion, was the desire of a mother to physically leave the home, believe that he ran away from. This just did not sit with. Nothing could force me out of the house, right? So, right, Trishy, and you have went through great loss, right? And I know unfortunately, loss of a child is unimaginable. The greatest loss anyone could face, by far. So, if there is potential, and statistically, if he walked off on his own, right, he's much, much statistically more likely to be around that area. I don't think he did. In my opinion, I think the 3 a.m. vehicle says it, in my opinion. But I'm talking about KK. Statistically, he's more likely to be around in that area. So why would you separate yourself from being at your home, which is where you say Sebastian walked out of, but you also say you are going to go help your husband get ready to go back to work? He has never needed help to go back to work before. He's done it quite fine on his own before you, while you were together as well. And, if you guys ever, something ever happens to their relationship, he'll do it fine after you. So that doesn't sit true with me. Bingo. Yes. Yes. That's exactly right. Of course, dispatch. Of course. Make sure you remind me at the end of this.
you're worried about whether he would be able to hear it or not? Like, is there a reason that she hasn't directly addressed him?
She has, in some interviews, directly addressed him, especially when people ask the question if Sebastian could hear you right now or he's watching.
Okay. When you are doing an interview, you don't have to say, you don't have to be asked, can you, speak out for Sebastian, speak directly to Sebastian when you are the parental figure. You don't need that. Something innate within you. So Edgar says she has some interviews when she's asked.
Yes. Katie has addressed Sebastian directly.
On your screen now is my missing child presser checklist. These are 7 things that parents of missing children do spontaneously.
All right, let's look at this. One is present tense. Deception Detective's missing child presser interview checklist. Listen to this, KK and Edgar. Present tense. Cooperative. Inconclusive. Addresses kidnapper. Addresses child. Ask for help. And a call to action. If you see X, call 911, for example. And you just don't see that with them. They turn down many interviews, and CP says Court TV isn't a major outlet. Yeah. Humans national, he says. And he says they're biased. They aren't. Court TV is not biased, Edgar. They've only. How can you say that they're biased when you've not even been on there to tell your side? How about you get on there and speak for Sebastian and help them, help you, and help them understand.
When they have an audience. In other words, these aren't things that they're coached to do by the police or the FBI or their attorneys. They just stem from the nature of the situation, the uncertainty about what happened, the curiosity about where their kid is right now and what they're going through, the undying hope their kid will be found or return home, and the overwhelming instinct to get their kid back at any cost. Now, if parents...
Yes, right. The desperation is enormous, right? The desperation is enormous. If you have ever lost someone extremely close, the desperation, like if you know that they're going to pass, just stay with me, right? Don't go. It's a lot. Now, if they're out there, and you know they're out there, and if there's an Amber Alert, which, like Jennifer Coffindaffer said yesterday, is foul play, right? Someone took this child, which tells me he absolutely did not walk out the door. on his own accord. Well, it doesn't say that necessarily, but it does say that someone took him at some point. Thank you so much, Cher. Good to see you, love. It's always the ones that weren't around being the loudest. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? It seems like, like Don and Candace's, they said very, very similar, right? They called 911. Dad said he was at work. Mom says she was home. Same in Sebastian's case. But yet, Don's the loudest. Edgar's the loudest. But they were at work, they say. I don't believe that they were at work the entire time. No shoes for both, yes. I understand it more for Summer Wells' case, Summer not having shoes, than I do Sebastian. Summer was a country girl, right? She's our little Appalachian princess. Sebastian, he not the type of kid that's going lots of cases. Yes. Yes. So Sebastian's just not the type that's going to do
Don't
that.
do all these things. Does that mean they're
Summer was an outdoor girl. She liked to be on her swing. Right? Sebastian, he's an inside kid. He liked his video games and being indoors. Both are absolutely fine, right? They are who they are.
guilty? Of course not. But it does suggest that we should investigate further. If you've seen my videos about Michael Monkey Vaughn's mom or Stouch's biological mom, you'll know that they did all these things unprompted, no matter how big the audience they were talking to was. Like Chris said, Katie did directly address Sebastian through media, a key item on the checklist. The only issue is she had to be prompted to do it.
See, yes, exactly. He's exactly right. You just what I said just a minute ago. Had to be prompted. When you especially your kid, you love someone so greatly, and you don't need to be asked that. You don't. It comes natural. It's that desperation. And he's deception detectives, right? On like Brandy Neal. Guys, please pray for Brandy. She is extremely ill right now, and she needs our prayers now so much. Please keep her in your prayers. I spoke with her last night, and she's having a really, really tough time. And so please pray for her and her family. But Brandy, she has, done everything under the sun that she could possibly do to find her child, to be proactive to this day. Still sick, very ill. And still all she thinks about 3.5 years later, almost, going on 4 years later, is where is Michael Joseph Vaughn? And then there's, 4 bastards that absolutely know where he is. And they're still out. That's what's frustrating. It's really frustrating. It is. It is passion flower. And let me tell you something. Brandy, she has worked. She was at work whenever Michael went missing. And she had to go on, had to feed her family. And she would not sleep, and she would go, and she would go, and she would go. And at night, she would just go out in the garage and just sob. Just gut wrenching cries. She sleeps on the couch, still knowing that what authorities have said about what happened to Michael. But even nearly 4 years later, still knowing what they believe happened to Michael, she still has hope. She's done press conferences where she just said, please, please, please help me find my son. If you know anything, please. She just kept saying, please help me find him. Please. Janine, I'm not sure if she has a GoFundMe. Brandy, when Michael went missing, she was never, she just has always done it. She's always just done it. And we just need her to get better. We just need her to get better. I just cannot imagine. I love that. I love her so much. And she's got young kids. And what she is going through right now is very, very life-threatening. Very life-threatening. And just as a friend, like, I can't imagine something happening to her. And I pray that her family doesn't go through anything else. Anything else.
Which Chris also said. And that's why I can't give Katie full points. For the checklist to give us insight into her mind state, she needs to do these things spontaneously, not at the request of the interviewer. But that's still better than Chris, who we can't give any points at all. Even when Elevated Truth brings up the notion of addressing Sebastian through the media, Chris still doesn't do it. Is he that certain that Sebastian isn't watching? Or is he just not concerned that he might be? In this next segment, I think we're going to get a clue to the answer to that question and some insight into what Chris really thinks about Sebastian.
It's been quite some time, though. Would you agree?
Right. And I want everybody to stop for one quick second. I'm going to rewind something here on you. In October, we had Halloween, one of Sebastian's favorite holidays.
Listen to this.
He's not home.
Right.
Thanksgiving, our family dinner table is incomplete. December 7th, people couldn't leave the day alone.
Sure couldn't.
Christmas is coming up.
What does he mean by couldn't leave the day alone? What, that we actually celebrated and wished him his birthday? Like, what do you mean? Couldn't leave the day alone? People care, Edgar. What do you mean couldn't leave the day alone? Right. How dare we? I don't even did Cruella, did she put anything on her Facebook or anything? Right, Rhonda. I mean, do they just want everyone to just be crickets? Is that what they want? That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Sebastian has an army. So KK had Halloween and then his birthday, and so did Seth.
Once again, we have an incomplete holiday. New Year's.
So she's just
Valentine's Day. And then right after Valentine's Day, what is the next one?
Well, let's hope he's home by then instead of thinking.
Amen.
So there's holidays throughout the entire fucking year, Edgar. There's holidays throughout the entire year, and as long as there is humanity, there's going to be holidays throughout the entire year. What's his point here? I guess his point is he's trying to say KK is constantly grieving, so she can't get out and do an interview or be any kind of proactive in finding their son, her son, Seth's son. And again, Seth goes through that as well. Yes. But, and grief is, it's a thing, right? It's terrible. But if you have any sort of hope that he is out there, I mean, wouldn't you be proactive in trying to find him? To find, or at least, even if you don't have hope that he is still alive, I pray that he is. But don't you want a resolution to this? Exactly, always late. Implying Sebastian was not there Mother's Day. Well, he's not there on Father's Day for Seth either. He is alone in Tennessee. She has Edgar's family. Yeah. And they have each other, right?
Amen. But everybody wants to know why she doesn't talk. Maybe because she's a grieving mother. Maybe this is one of the worst stretches of the year for any person in this world who has had to deal with a personal tragedy, losing a loved one, anything.
Okay, wait a second. It's one of the worst stretches of the year. Where was the last 6 months that you've been quiet? Where was that? And he just started at Halloween and ended at Mother's Day. When is Mother's Day? May? May? He just went from October to May. So there's 4 months left out of the year. Insanity. Insanity. It's insanity.
It's not that she doesn't want to talk, but respecting the fact.
We lost you, I think. We lost you.
We'll be back.
How about now?
Yeah,
You're
we
good
got
now.
you.
There we go.
Sorry.
There we go.
Well,
Chris,
no,
I
you're
don't mean to
good.
interrupt you for a second. Addison, will you please make a comment?
Oh, I know Crafts and Crime. I mean, he's saying, you know, she is grieving. Right? Is there no hope left? Because I can tell you one thing. Seth has hope. He has hope. Like I said, Brandy has been told, we have been told what they believe happened to Michael, and she still has hope. Because I don't think most people, as a way to continue moving forward, I don't think, especially like a parent, can even let their mind go there unless they know. Because if you've ever lost anyone very close, you immediately go into denial. Right? No, this is just a dream. Feels like you're dreaming. I agree, bad actors. I think I agree. Exactly, Tori. Exactly. Yes. That they won't. Well, and that's right, Angel Mama. It terrifies me that he knows that he won't be around for New Year's or Valentine's Day. How do you know, Edgar? You know, why did he ask Seth, what if this goes downhill? Right? Why did he say we're not going to court next Thursday for Nina? He hadn't been missing 72 hours at that point. What if he was found? Exactly, Justin. Denial all the way until you cannot deny. Then it's still a little denial and shock if your child is actually found unalive. Yes. Mm-hmm. Me of Susan Smith and Letitia.
So I can mod you. Queen asked me to mod you. So if you'll make a comment, please.
No. Reread that. Reread that.
But what I was saying is, when she's ready to talk, she'll talk. And I just ask that you respect the facts. It is the holidays. She is grieving. Seth is grieving.
Yes. Yep. Brandy is grieving. She's still out there, right? Beth Holloway was grieving. She was still in Aruba. Still in front of the cameras, still searching, and did and has for 2 decades. I don't understand. I really don't. I understand the Kyron Horman, yes. Desiree Horman or Desiree forget her last name now. Desiree Kyron Horman's mother still does car washes to pay her PIs. You can't even get them to do court TV. I got your guidance. Why? Like, that's the thing. I think most parents, they keep going, right, constantly to try to find them, to try to get to the resolution. The love that you have for them sustains you, right? I don't know. It's bizarre.
Everybody grieves in their own ways. Just have some respect about it.
Notice how Chris didn't say he's grieving, just Katie and Seth. And what does grieving even mean? It's usually how people process death, not an ongoing emergency like the disappearance of someone who might still be alive. But that's not the only clue that Chris might know or suspect. The worst. When he was defending Katie's strange silence, he didn't say that the holidays are hard for someone who's experiencing an emergency. Instead, he referred to the tragedy as complete, as if it's already over. But when your child is missing, it's not over until you have answers. If I'm being charitable, I would say that Chris seems pessimistic about the odds of Sebastian being alive. If I'm not, I would say it's more than that.
A lot of people are saying that you guys aren't doing anything. Is there things that you guys are doing that you're just not broadcasting?
We don't broadcast what we do because it doesn't, one, like you said before, it gets twisted.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, sometimes not having what we do broadcasted is actually a lot more effective.
Bullshit.
Because we can focus on doing what we need to do.
Bullshit.
Finding Sebastian, looking into things, whatever we need to do. Sometimes it's best not publicized.
Bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, look,
You know,
I got a photo of everybody searching, and that's torn apart, right?
Well, I'm going to put this out there, and I can't. God, I can't stand this for the life of me.
Well, can I just say something? There are things that I personally heard, and this is not from Chris and Katie. Okay, there was a situation talking. Y'all know we've been in the neighborhood talking to people. I'm gonna cry. Don't fucking judge me. But there was a neighbor who said the day after he went missing, Katie stepped outside and they just heard this like blood curdling scream. And she was outside screaming his name. And then she just like doubled over and fell on the pavement. And
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. But I do believe what happened on the 25th or the 26th, the night of the 25th or the morning of the 26th, I think she saw something very, very traumatic. And I think that is why she was out there crying.
For days, she left a
If that
blanket,
happened, if that happened.
food, shoes outside for him. And this person was like,
The neighbors I've spoke to never said that, but
it
just saying.
was the most heartbreaking thing. And she was like crying, right? Because my assumption is she's a mom and that hits you. You know what I mean? It chokes me up.
Hearsay and gossip are totally unreliable, which is why I always try to focus on the suspect's own words. It's the reason I stopped analyzing this case for about 6 months, because the primary suspects stopped doing interviews. That said, let's assume this anecdote is true. What does it actually prove about?
The primary suspect stopped doing interviews. Yep, I agree. And Seth has continually been doing interviews. You get what he's saying?
About Katie's guilt or innocence. At best, it shows that she is actively searching for Sebastian and she's genuinely heartbroken about his disappearance. But that doesn't mean she's clueless about what happened or even uninvolved. She could have sent him away in a fit of rage and now regrets that decision.
Yeah.
At worst, Katie's actions here sound performative. Sobbing and screaming outdoors certainly gives the appearance of innocence to anyone within earshot, but it's far from the most meaningful thing she could be doing to help the search. In fact, the most useful things, like doing media interviews or working with Dog the Bounty Hunter and his team, are the things she refuses to do. In other words, doing one without doing the others suggests a desire to appear innocent without actually doing everything.
That's another thing Edgar lied about. Said Dog never reached out to him. Liar, liar, pants on fire. What did y'all do? Same thing you do with everything. No. Shut down.
Everything possible. And wherever we find these inconsistencies between one's stated desires and their actions, we often find liars.
Oh, I understand completely when Chris feels like even something is being insinuated about her. And I understand why he gets upset and immediately wants to come to her defense. He loves her. It's what he's supposed to do.
Right. Like I said earlier, he's being a protective husband, right? Like,
Well,
I get
know
it.
People are going to push back because they're saying already, like, no, you cared more about the truck. To clarify, that right there was going to lead to another 100 live streams saying, boom, Chris is guilty. So it's not that he cared about the truck over Sebastian.
No, he absolutely cared about the truck. He absolutely cared about that truck. People who thinks he's sus, that truck is not going to change anything who people already thinks he's sus. He came up there saying, don't talk about my truck. He didn't want that out. Because it just, in my opinion, keeps confirming, solidifying that something's up, in my opinion. Don't talk about my truck. I can't tell you where I was Sunday evening. I can't tell you where I was the whole month. But law enforcement says I can't give dates. I'm not involved, and I was 3.5 hours away most of the time. But I can't give dates to when I was at my own freaking house, days and weeks before Sebastian went missing. Save it. the best scenario that could happen, right, is Sebastian is out there somewhere fine. Nobody wants to think that someone that is supposed to care for you, love you, could actually do the opposite.
Question. He cares about, as he said, the misinformation and disinformation, or half of the information being out there that leads to hours of speculation that does not result or even help Sebastian be found because it's not based on fact. So, no, he didn't care about the truck. Just being simple minded.
Well,
he didn't care about the truck. He just said, don't talk about my truck. Obviously, he cared.
Once again, that's
It got him on a panel after 6 months.
where people, they have their opinions. And I've stated the fact.
Well, opinions don't write a probable cause affidavit, and people need to remember that. Your feelings about people and maybe them being shady or...
It doesn't write a probable cause affidavit, but the things that you say on a panel can be in that probable cause affidavit as supported argument, supported evidence. Sure can.
You know, whatever. And I'm talking to the creators and the viewers. They don't write a PCA, right? You have to have evidence. And as we all know, right now, there is no evidence against anybody. So to start an investigation and hire a private intelligence agency and have them come out the gate after Chris and Katie is wild to me.
Absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. In fact, at night, dog, they wanted to work with all three of the parents and say, come on, let's try to do this together. But, Edgar would make a preacher cuss. Doesn't want to work with anybody, in my opinion. He certainly doesn't want to talk about dates in his truck.
Wild to me. What kind of intelligence agency starts an investigation with suspects in mind? It's fucking wild.
Accusing someone without evidence is bad, but so is gathering evidence against them. This circular logic is a death spiral for truth seeking. And it's also why I only focus on de facto, actual guilt or innocence on my channel, not whether it can be proven beyond a reasonable doubt in court. Because in real life, that's what actually matters. And I urge you to think the same way, no matter what this panelist says. You're not a juror, and you're not building a legal case. You don't need to presume anyone's innocence. You can consider all the evidence, even the inadmissible stuff like polygraphs and statement analysis. And yes, you can form an opinion even if you're not sure beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, to be clear, I don't think...
And to be clear, Edgar is the one that said name the time and place and did not take the polygraph. I guess he thought, oh, I'll say name the time and place. It'll make me, look good up here. You don't think Nancy was going to report back on this?
Anyone should be locked up based on...
Deception detective says, I'm not a cop. I don't care if the law was broken. Lying is enough to put someone in
these
my
standards. The government should and must prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt before taking away someone's freedom. But I also think that if Chris or Katie invited your kid to a sleepover or volunteered to coach their little league team, you should politely decline.
So
No.
anyway, your facts, your feelings don't write a PCA.
Actually, some of their feelings did write out a whole.
Well, they wrote out an injunction, but not a
whole
PCA,
injunction.
not a probable cause, right? Come on, you know,
And
like,
that's not even going to.
and you have to be in true. I've been in true crime a really long time. You guys know me from the show.
Bingo, Mohawk Mom. Edgar and people like to say they have nothing. They have nothing. That's not true. That's not true. Eric Craddock says he has stuff. There was a PCA 2 search warrants for the landfill. I've showed the 2 in Kentucky where they applied for them. Hey, PNW. So they've had, oh my God, I can't even imagine the search warrants that they've done for this. Can't even imagine. I mean, they're not going to Seth's landfill. They're not going to I think so too. Hey, Jude. I think she's really good at it. At that? I really do believe that. Mm-hmm.
Shows and stuff. But like, you have to be able to bend with the evidence, right? You have to, you can have an idea of something, but you have to bend your theory with the evidence. And right now, we all hate it, but there is no evidence, you guys.
Well, yeah, and
that we know about. That we know about.
If I may, because I've never had a chance to speak to you, Chris, on a panel or anything, if I may seek this opportunity to ask some of the questions that they are using based on their feelings.
You tell me how the parents say he couldn't have went out any of the other doors. He had to have a key to the back door, right? He doesn't know how to go out the garage door, and it would have opened, the camera would have came on, and he would have had to have a key to the man door. Okay. He was also scared of the noise in the back door, and Katie said he'd had to have a key. But yet, this 3-hour phone call so late in the night when you got to both be at work the next day and it's a school night for a child, why, like, Edgar says if someone would have went up to the front door, the camera would have kicked on. And we know the camera kicks on because it was dark when the trash was taken out. Lights on each side, you can clearly see the garage door. And we know he didn't go out the garage door, the man door. KK says he had to have a key for the back door, and he was scared of the back door. And Edgar says someone, walks up to the front door, camera's going to kick on. But it never does. And nothing to date has ever seen Sebastian Rogers on any camera, any confirmed sighting, a scent, an article of clothing found, a footprint, a shoe print found. Nothing. But yet, at 3 something, 3:15ish in the morning, a vehicle comes up and doesn't park any specific home, just sits in the middle of the road after it goes all the way up Kellen, turns back around, which, in my opinion, that was to let someone know that they were there. Turns back around, comes down, pulls in the beginning of Stafford, gets out of the vehicle, runs across people's yards. 2 people come out. They do something around the back of the vehicle, jumps in the car. 1 person runs fast back toward the home, where 2 hours and 45 minutes later, the mother of Sebastian says he's not home. And the parents, or the mother and stepfather, says nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. I find that very, very, very bizarre. Max Chica, thank you, my darling, for gifting a pearl necklace. If you receive that pearl necklace, give our Max Chica a big thank you, because you've been promoted. You could get $1,000. Superb. Fantastic. Thank you guys so very much. Really do appreciate you. What do you mean update my screen? What ticks me off is cops believe the parent's story. Listen, because what they say publicly does not mean they believe it privately. Okay? Like Nick Barris said in the days and weeks reporting on Sebastian, police have their theories. Just like we all have our theories or hypotheses on this. But they've got to prove that theory to be true, right? And that's where they had to wait for warrants and everything else. Justin, we have walkie-talkies. I talk to my husband and steer him when backing the trailer into the camping spot. I guide him back. The range on ours is 3.5 miles. Yeah, they can, some of them can go even greater. I think it's okay to. No, I'm not ending it. I'm not ending it. Not yet.
One's on.
We're not
Did you
ending.
and Katie take a vacation shortly after Sebastian's disappearance?
I agree, Crystal Lee.
I mean,
they dropped it in the beginning.
I don't know. They're all saying you guys went on vacation.
Bingo, Janine.
No,
Bingo.
we have
Okay.
never, in this whole deal, like, we haven't been on a vacation.
Why are you people telling me to stop? Wouldn't you would you rather seek this opportunity to clear
Bull
up rumors and hopefully get
crap,
some solid answers? Or do you
Edgar.
guys want to have a little, where we can all powwow and tell everybody how great each other is?
Exactly.
Like, I'm sorry, I'd rather seek this opportunity, but I'll digress. We'll go ahead.
Edgar is going to start doing kumbaya.
Don't digress, because you're right. It is the perfect.
Say whatever the hell you want. Fuck them
This
people.
is what he's here for, but all right, you guys can
No,
all
you're good. Granny, I've got you up here as a guest. If they don't like it, they can leave.
I mean, I feel like these are solid. I don't know. Like, do we want to waste this away by saying, like, oh, I respect you. Well, you respect me. Well, this is great. No, I want to hear about Sebastian. What, did you go on vacation? The answer is no. Do your parents own a private jet?
Chris said he and Katie didn't take a vacation, and I believe him. But that doesn't mean they didn't spend the night somewhere else or even leave town. That's because the word vacation is subjective. If Chris personally defines it as a trip for fun or relaxation, he could honestly say they didn't take one, even if they were gone for days. And that's what I meant in the intro when I said that live interviews are the gold standard for catching liars.
Yes, especially the first ones. And in my opinion, that is exactly why KK and Edgar are not speaking anymore. In my opinion, they may be speaking to law enforcement, but are they answering questions to law enforcement? Maybe they're not speaking at all. I don't know. But in my opinion, I think their relationship with law enforcement has changed dramatically. You don't hear the doting that Edgar once did for the police. Veronica, thank you for helping a girl out. Appreciate you, darling. Double Jeopardy plays into this big time. You're exactly right. And that's what I say. As long as this is taking, I'd rather wait a longer time and make sure it's done right than to just have, a quick arrest and them not nailing it down the right way. I agree. Thank you so much, my dear. Love you to pieces. Really do appreciate you. I want to know the excuse for the poop toilet. What's that, Kelsey? I'm lost.
Imagine if Granny, instead of moving on to this next question about some private jet, had asked some key follow-up questions.
Yes.
Like, okay, no vacation, but did you leave town at all? Did you spend the night anywhere else besides your own home? Would you be surprised to hear that some neighbors report your house being vacant for 24 hours at a time? As I've said time and time again in my videos,
You see, that's the one thing that a lot of people who, don't ask follow-up questions. You don't just accept one plain answer. You have to go into it a little bit deeper, right? You have to ask the same question at least 3 different ways. Okay, Kelsey, gotcha.
most people will avoid lying at all costs, especially about things that could be easily disproved, like their whereabouts. So they'll try to deceive you without technically lying, for example, by being overly broad, or overly vague, or overly specific, like what I think Chris is doing here with the word vacation. Pay attention to this next part because Chris is going to do it again. See if you can catch it.
Okay, now
no.
that's out the way.
Are there 5 CPS reports?
I don't know.
Are there 5 that you know about?
Once again, I don't know.
I mean, okay, well, I would say, how do you not know, being in the home living with this child for 8 years? How do you not know? She says the parents were very cooperative. If you listen, she says pretty much. She doesn't say very, she says pretty much cooperative. But cooperative does not mean innocence. It doesn't mean that cooperating. Okay. So let's say this. If I choose to not, you choose not to answer certain questions, right? They can't hold that against you, right? You choose to not to take a lie detector test. That can't be held against you. It still means you're cooperative. Bab said it the best. Cooperation doesn't equal innocence, clearance, validation, and neither does silence. Very well said.
Okay.
Does your family own a crematorium?
No.
Now I think I know a lot of people's talked about that damn funeral home. I'm telling you, it's not happening. But they start asking like ridiculous
Do you know?
questions.
Do you know the relative of Yada or Yala? What's her name?
Again,
Anybody?
knowing the relatives of KK means nothing. How about let's talk about your timeline, Edgar? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. And also, if you listen to Yada, who came up and called on my channel before, she says, I'm not important when it comes to this. But Edgar trashes her because it seems like, in my opinion, she knows how KK works.
Her name
Oh,
is
yeah.
Yada.
Yada.
Katie's Aunt Yada. Can you tell us anything? Does she know Katie? Is she a close relative? Is she a real relative?
She may be a real relative, but I will tell you this. That woman.
She may be, which, AKA Edgar's word salad, she's a relative, in my opinion, is what he's saying. He knows she's a relative. He knows that.
Doesn't know Katie. I couldn't tell you the last time she saw Katie. And
well, if you would listen, she's told when the last time she saw KK and Sebastian, it was 2019 at a family reunion, I think it was.
And I will say this, because of the negative things that she has said, I hope she hears when I say this. She's not that important to Katie to give 2 flying shits about.
Fair enough.
You hear the hostility in his voice. Gosh.
Now, Chris, your mother has recently been vocal, and I assume it is in protection of you. People keep making jokes like mama's boy and all that, but I'll be damned, we'd all do the same for our kids. But she is going at it. Is that really your mother's account on Facebook? Are you aware? Is that a real account?
He won't answer it.
My mother does have a Facebook account. Unless you show me what you're referring to, I don't know.
Yeah, like Edgar, because you're never on Facebook.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, there have been people out there that have made accounts saying they're me, and they're not.
We saw that in the backstage.
Oh yeah, I have another one. Were you and Katie in Oregon in March?
Nope.
Okay. Were you ever suing a company when you were a janitor?
First, never been a janitor, and
I didn't think so.
I don't even know what the janitor thing is they're talking about, but how about asking him some important questions?
Okay.
That gentleman's from Pennsylvania, and
Yes, he is.
They intentionally put that up there to make it appear as this
I
Chris
have
Proudfoot,
no idea.
damn well knowing they are two separate people.
I know. I'm just asking because you gotta get it out, right?
And here's another one, and you can, of course, as you always feel comfortable saying, I'm not answering. But is it true that you all rented out your house over the summer?
Oh my God.
We haven't sold our house. We haven't rented our house. We haven't moved. We still live in
It's news, but it's nothing about Sebastian.
the same house.
Or the dogs. Let's clear that up. The dogs still there.
And as far as the dogs, I'm surprised he hasn't gotten rid of the dogs yet, but I think it would look really bad if he got rid of these dogs now. He's gotten rid of every other dog and cat and snake and Sebastian stuff and tried to throw out toddlers' beds and packed up his ex-wife's stuff and didn't give her all the stuff. Right, Edgar? But again, nothing to do with Sebastian.
Yeah,
When
the
you
dogs
were
are still there.
when you were 7 years old, did you father a child?
Yeah, that's
no. I mean, that would be very interesting, but no.
Okay.
Mm. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to do it.
No.
Has Dog the Bounty Hunter knocked down your door?
No.
Okay.
Dog the Bounty Hunter has yet to even try to contact me directly.
You are I believe at night or Dog posted the call. I don't know if it was the call logs and all of that, where they did contact you, Edgar.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
So I'll put that.
And you said, I forgot what you said. I forget what you said.
Chris is lying. That was my first thought when I heard this because the word directly wasn't part of the question.
Yep. You see exactly what kind of bullshit word salad he uses. You see exactly. Yes. You don't need to use semantics, word salad, or any other thing when you are being honest. You just say, no, yes, or yes, but, or no, but such and such happened. Yeah, but it was more than
Chris
that.
added that in
Mohawk, or
himself, so I
something else.
reached out to Dog the Bounty Hunter on X to confirm my suspicions. And guess what? Dog and his team had contacted him. His denial was so...
There we go. There we go. I knew they also did they left a voicemail, completed call. Edgar replies, Nick and Dog the Bounty Hunter, High Risk Fugitive Task Force, comma, consider this your formal and only message for my wife, Katie, and myself. Do not, for any reason or circumstance, contact us in any way. If you need to contact us, you need to reach out to Sumner County Sheriff's Office or TBI. Thank you for your time and attention to this matter. VR, very respectfully, bullshit. Chris and KK P-Foot. It just shows you how it's a lie. A lie. Now, why lie about something like that? Just say, yes, he reached out to me and we declined. That's all. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. It is Joe Neal. Yes, it is. No need to lie about that. But he did. And these are very, like, that was very easy for them
So
to
specific and subjective,
go.
it was technically true. But was it misleading and deceptive? Absolutely.
Yes.
If he'd done this under oath, where you have to swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, I could see a judge holding him in contempt. But in the real world, we don't have that luxury. Your best defense against these clever verbal gymnastics are pointed follow-up questions. Okay, Chris, Dog didn't directly contact you, but has he attempted to contact you? Have he or any of his people tried contacting Katie or your attorneys?
Yes. Have they reached out to you in any form or fashion, right? At all? Have they texted you? Have they left voicemails? Did you, say, did you text them back directly? I mean, verbal gymnastics, perfect. Yes.
There's quite a few of them. So let me get out my notebook. But no, seriously. So are you aware, or do you have a neighbor near you that is in contact with YouTubers that you're aware of?
I don't know who does
Sure
what
do.
in my neighborhood,
Okay.
other than
Do.
the households that we've been able to talk
More
to,
than
and they've been
one.
extremely helpful in the very beginning of the investigation, and even until now. There might be one or two who
Yes.
do not.
Edgar,
Most of my neighborhood does.
did you send smoke signals, carrier pigeons? Let us know.
Doesn't even know us.
Right.
They've never even spoken to us. It is a quiet neighborhood.
Well, Edgar, now come on. You know that there are neighbors that you've not been that great to, and they live pretty close to you, and y'all have kind of bickered, shall we say.
It's sad that once again it goes back to YouTube and
Bingo.
people just doing things just to be malicious.
Yeah. Now I have another question. So I'm sure you're aware the Texas Roadhouse footage that had came out, and I'm sorry that was released on his birthday. I can't fathom what that did to you, Katie, and even Seth.
Well, it wasn't released by the entire video. Actually, it wasn't released at all by At Night. right? I was the first to have it, to see it. I didn't release it. I don't think it should have ever been released, personally, my opinion. But people did.
But in
That
that
was
footage,
bullshit.
are you aware, did Sebastian have a cell phone with him that night?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Okay. And then I guess would you want to know then what Kate if Katie was taking photos of Sebastian, and if so, where they like
You don't say you wouldn't know then. Say, would Sebastian have or KK have?
did she send you a photo of him that night at the Texas Roadhouse, or do you have any idea
Yes,
what those photos
yes,
were?
she took a photo. Yes, law enforcement knows exactly what the photo was and who it went to.
Of course they do. They knew everything.
And to clarify that, it went to me.
Now, I'm glad he mentioned this because I do believe it went to him. I don't believe it is a picture of his food. He's getting ready to say, oh, Sebastian eating all of his food, right? First of all, it was about 4 minutes into Sebastian getting his plate, from what I recall. It wasn't long. And his food had not even been eaten much. And if he's a kid that eats, quote, like you say, Edgar, a bottomless pit, end quote, it's not that big of a deal to take a picture of him eating a plate of food. Second of all, you zoomed in on it a lot, KK. And then you specifically did not want him to know you was taking the picture, the second picture most specifically. The hen house, I just think it was up to law enforcement. If law enforcement didn't release that video, I just didn't feel like it was right for me or anyone else to release that video. That's just my opinion on that. Doesn't make it right or wrong, just my opinion. So that's why I didn't, release it. But
And I'm going to guess that his face is kind of in his salad eating.
Yes.
It's actually showing him eating all of his food.
Yeah. So
it's not showing eating him all of his food. It's not. Chris, there's some of us that has the entire video, has watched the entire video. Thank you, Debbie. What are you talking about? Hey, Frank, good to see you. What is their obsession with him eating or not eating his food? I don't know of anybody that, okay. I mean, why would anyone zoom into, and first of all, it wasn't pointed down at his plate. I think those photos were taken for a very, very specific reason, and it had nothing to do with food, in my opinion.
So of course they can't use that for the TBI poster, right? Like,
Right.
it's not it's not a frontal face picture. It's dim.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. But I also think that they could have given some more current photos of Sebastian that the TBI could have chose from.
Dimly lit. And it's not like Katie and Chris or Seth pick the picture TBI uses, you guys.
Well, that was my next question.
No. They ask for, several current pictures of what looks like them the most. Normally they don't want anything, with the funny hairstyle like how it is at the time. They ask for multiple pictures and then they pick from what you give them. So it's kind of both. The parents gives them the pictures, a certain amount of pictures, and then they choose from those pictures. Not even the one with Santa, yeah.
So I've been curious about this myself. Why does it appear that every photo we have available of Sebastian is at a younger age and does not fit with what he looks like?
Why do we not have a picture of Edgar and KK? Or sorry, Edgar and Sebastian
Today
ever that I've seen.
So any of the
Might be out
photos that
there, but I haven't
Katie
seen
and
one.
I have been able to provide to law enforcement have been the most accurate, up-to-date photos.
Mm.
What Seth provides, and this is, I don't know what he provides, so I'm not going to try to speak on that. That's not fair. I don't know what he's provided to LE or to whatever else. I know what he has in some of his videos and things like people put out there, and he's had some tasteful like his memories. Those are his memories. And no, we're not going to give people every single memory. Those are ours. Keep in mind, like,
I understand that.
we are.
I mean, some photos are, you shouldn't have to give out every photo. Of course not.
Parents.
Right.
We have our own moments that we cherish deeply.
I understand that.
It's not for everybody in this world to know. Those are for us. All three parents know them.
Now, there was a video put out of a classmate at one of the gatherings for Sebastian, and she gave a FFA award. Were you aware that he was supposedly doing this class via the internet?
I don't know anything about it, so I can't speak on that.
And this is going to be a tougher question. Again, you don't have to answer, but were you mandated not to be allowed in the house in the month of February?
Okay. First of all, what does the FFA have to do with anything? What does an FFA or 4-H or whatever? The FFA is for older, but what does that have to do with anything? Now, the way she asked this question should have been asked, in my opinion, differently.
And this is going to be a tougher question. Again, you don't have to answer, but were you mandated not to be allowed in the house in the month of February?
No, I was never mandated not to be at my house.
There we go.
Okay.
And let me tell you something. The way he answers that, in my opinion, Lisa got it very too specific. No, I was never mandated not to be in my house. The question should have been, were you allowed around Sebastian during the month of February? In the home together. But there was no follow-up question. There's no follow-up questions to these questions. It's just one question and then moving on. There's no follow-ups.
Nancy Grace show that you were last in the house at the beginning of February, but that you couldn't
Listen to how he says that again. I think it's
say
very
watch
important.
Again, you don't have to answer, but were you mandated not to be allowed
Listen how
in
he
the house
answers.
in the month of February?
No, I was never mandated not to be at my house.
Okay.
You said on the Nancy Grace show that you were last in the house at the beginning of February, but that you couldn't say watch
Be at my house.
But were you mandated not to be allowed in the house in the month of February?
No, I was never mandated not to be at my house.
Okay.
You said on the Nancy Grace show that you were last in the house at the beginning.
Yes. Not mandated to be in your house. No, I was never mandated not to be in my house. That just told me, that just gave me an answer. In my opinion, that gave me an answer, because if you know how Chris answers by now, the way he answers very specifically, that tells me everything. And in my opinion, I think that's the reason there was these fun weekends, because Edgar wanted to be at the house.
Beginning of February, but that you couldn't say why, or I can't remember the
No, I
exact
said I
verbiage.
couldn't tell you the exact date. And
Oh,
I'm
okay.
still not going to
Okay.
tell you the exact date.
And I bet you are never going to say those exact dates. You did say, now maybe law enforcement will let me, it'll eventually come out. You don't want to mention those dates, do you, Edgar? Brand new job, location February 4th, St. Jude project, same time he was not at the house. Not odd to me. Yep. Yeah. He can't tell you about Sunday afternoon when law enforcement are looking for, they won't say, but they want all of the footage. But Edgar, they knew. They knew something was up. A few days after they got the initial footage, they went to a specific home, left with no footage, came back a few days later, looked at a different day, and they looked at each other, the two agents, and they took a specific day, Edgar. I don't know what that is, but in my opinion, you do.
If I guessed it, would you tell me?
Once again, ma'am, I'm sorry, but that is one thing that
No, this is one thing, Edgar, that should set every single person who has any sort of rationale left, any sort of common sense, why a man cannot say when he was at his home days and weeks prior to a child supposedly walking out their door on their own accord. If Sebastian walked out the door on his own accord, tell me, as you say, what does that have to do with the price of eggs in China? Nothing. D. There is nothing that you could come to me and say, oh, that would make sense. Because if you're not involved, there's no way you can't say when you was home. Or unless you're not allowed around a certain person.
Law enforcement asked not to be released.
Bull.
Oh, interesting.
crap.
Okay.
And I said that in an interview.
I'm sorry, but it's not just, oh, interesting. Perfect chance right there to ask what I just asked. You tell me, Edgar, and I hope someone will ask it. How is it possible that you can't say what dates you were home when a child, you say your wife says, walked out the door? Now tell me how. Tell me, give me a specific logic. But they won't ask a question. That is a ringer right there.
View a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Law
Now
enforcement does not want that information out there. I am not releasing it.
You are so full of shit. You are so full of shit there. Pardon my French, but that just blows me away that he says that. That just blows me away. Jules, just email me and we can talk. I don't know this situation or anything, but are just trying to derail the conversation on piano. So the questions were initially easy. The creators on panel jumped in defense of him. Right. There is no tough questions, right? And to the tough questions, see, they'll ask him the initial tough question, right? And he'll say, law enforcement, this is why you will not interview with me. He will not interview, even though he lied to me and said he would interview with me. But this is why you will not interview with me because, okay, law enforcement said you can't speak to that. Okay, so let's look at it this way. Then speak to this. If you can't speak to that, why can't you say something about, bring the logic back? Drives me nuts.
It's just know the last time I saw Sebastian was early February until I came home February 26th. That's all I can tell you.
Okay.
He just said until I came home February 26th. You didn't see him February 26th, did you? You got it. You caught it. I just now caught that. Until I came home February 26th. I know, War. That's I'm not sure. I'll have to make some. Yeah, well, we're gonna definitely rewind.
Just know the last time I saw Sebastian was early February until I came home February 26th. That's all I can tell you.
Okay.
Okay. Until I came home February 26th. I believe you saw him the 25th and the 26th. Oh, thank you, Retha.
And just know
Let's look at this a little closer. Let's look at this a little bit closer.
the last time I saw Sebastian was early February until I came home February 26th.
Until you came home February 26th. He sure did. I think law enforcement knows. But I also think that little part needs to be turned in my opinion. Look at Deception Detective. Hold on. Watch his head. He's like, oh, hell. We know his wordplay. We know it, y'all. And we know it well by now. Oh, crap. What'd I do? You could do a sleep timer? Didn't know that. Okay.
That's all I can tell you.
Okay. I
Now,
understand.
this green hoodie guy, do you know anything about that? Can Katie explain, or can you explain why
Bingo.
this gentleman was next to the car? What that actual, like, what was happening in that footage? Is that footage correct?
What I can tell you about that is law enforcement has talked to Katie. They've answered, she's been able to answer all their questions. And once again, there is nothing to that situation. I mean, law enforcement even put out a statement. Has nothing to do with it. Has nothing.
Katie was seen on camera talking to a mystery man while Chris was out of town on work. He's not suspicious at all about that. And how about when he said that lots of their neighbors have never even spoken to them? As the parents of a missing kid, I would have expected them to initiate those conversations. If your kid goes missing, wouldn't one of the first things you do is go around and canvass the neighborhood and knock on all the neighbors' doors? It's very suspicious that they haven't spoken to every single one of their neighbors. And finally, if we take Chris at his literal word, he said that he hadn't seen Sebastian from the beginning of February until the 26th, which is supposedly after Sebastian had gone missing. Now, maybe Chris means that he hadn't seen him in a new photo or a new video. But according to his own story, Katie had sent him a picture of Sebastian from the Texas Roadhouse Grill. So wouldn't that have been the most recent time he saw Sebastian before the 26th? As before, these are all situations where a pointed follow-up question or two could have clarified things. They could have either exonerated Chris, like we saw with my recent post on X about.
And exactly. I mean, just, going to the neighbors opened, like, they were getting together to just let KK and Edgar know that, we stand with you in this neighborhood. They sent representatives. And it's just wild to me. Just, going to the neighbors and just saying, thank you for guys being so supportive. We don't know our neighbors. Well, your wife's speaking to a green hoodie guy.
Some apparent
You don't speak to
inconsistencies
your
in his
neighbors.
story
Okay.
on Nancy Grace, which were clarified by my eagle-eyed viewers, or they could have condemned him, pushing him deeper into a more and more obvious lie. Sadly, I don't think Chris will ever give me the opportunity to interview him, but we can continue
won't.
analyzing this one. On your screen now is part 2 because I think a lot of people missed that one, as well as my Sebastian Rogers playlist. Until next time, stay true.
Oops. Let's give Deception Detective a big round of applause. Great job as always, Deception Detective. And it's amazing. I still go through these interviews. I listen to them in the car or while I'm getting ready a lot of times, and I still catch things. Still catch things. Richard Bubba? Richard Bubba? Hers just woke up. Very good job, Deception Detective. For sure, for sure. He has no interest in clearing himself. He thinks, listen, I am too bare. I think if he could show time cards and he could take a lie detector test on national television and he could show his Life 360, he would have thrown that way long time ago. Way long time ago, in my opinion. That's just me, though. That's what I think. So, I don't know. We'll see. She would be swinging on that mic if you let her. Yeah. Yep. She would. She just woke up. Remy loves you. Yes, she does. We love each other. She's a mess. It's like back in the day listening to a song, singing the words, and now hearing the song and realizing it didn't say, yes, Veronica. There's those songs where you've sang wrong your entire life until you look at the lyrics. Yep. So there's that. Yeah, she's definitely growing. She was so much tinier when I got her. She's growing. This is the thing. She kicks my butt. Yeah, she does. Whenever I take my glasses off, she'll still reach for them. She'll still reach for them. She will. No biting. No biting the mic. Thank you, Single by Choice. Thank you so much, my dear. Very sweet of you. Thank you so much. Excuse you, ma'am. Excuse you, ma'am. You want your baba? Nope. Okay. She's she kicks my butt. All right, guys. Well, we need to do a chicken party. We need to do the chicken party. That's what we got to do.
What did the irritated chicken say?
What you fucking da? I don't fucking know. Yaranna yastara. Anarana.
I might have been a bitch to you this year. I just wanted to say that I'm still gonna be a bitch to you next year. It's New Year's, not new me. Clean. It's
Oh. Suck it now. Oh. Suck it now. Oh. Suck it now. Oh. Suck it now.
Lord, kumbaya. Someone's
Not possible because that area is not visible in the footage. My ass.
There he is.
Lord, kumbaya.
Not possible because that area is not visible in the footage. My ass.
Here's the ass. Oh Lord, kumbaya.
And it
To
was
Mr. Proudfoot. To Mr. Proudfoot. To Mr. Proudfoot. Mr. Proudfoot, what happened?
I can't give exact dates. Law enforcement has dictated. You just knocked over my mic thingy. Not to. Law enforcement has dictated, mandated dictation of all dictators, because you're a dick and you're a tater. And you're a dictator. Me not to. What about a pet cat?
A pet cat. A pet cat. A pet cat.
Katie! Christopher! Katie! Christopher!
A pet cat. A pet cat. A pet cat.
Christopher! Oh, Grace!
snacks because, you know, he's 15 and snacks.
Something that I believe we're pervy to. Something that I believe we're pervy to.
Christopher! Katie! Christopher! Katie!
A pet cat. A pet cat.
Oh. Suck it now. Oh. Suck it now. It's time! Oh. Suck it now.
What did the irritated chicken say?
Thank you all so very much. Really do appreciate you. She knocked over my mic thingy. Love you all so much. Is Dispatch Crystal still in here? Dispatch Crystal, is she still in here? I must watch movie one day, Justin, with Edgar. Yes. We need to see if Dispatch Crystal is in here still. If not, I'll get her tomorrow. Love you all too, darlings. Love you too. Princess, no doubt. Oh, yeah. Hers definitely a princess. Yeah, she said, can you sing happy birthday to me? But I don't know if she want me to do it tonight or tomorrow. So we will get her tomorrow then. My counter of likes kept spinning last night and showed the same numbers. Sometimes it does weird. Song Edgar. Oh, is that a song? I've never heard that. Leave my pervy truck alone. CT, I hope you get electric back soon. I do. I really do. I really, really, really do. Wave sideways to Edgar and KP. Same with mine. I had to refresh. YouTube's weird sometimes. She wants to say hi. We're stuck with no air conditioner at the moment. Oh, that's right. It's summer where you are, Joe. Must be nice. over sewing, but wanted to say love. Thank you, Carol. Thank you all. We'll be doing videos very soon again. I promise, very soon. How about it would have been on the other foot if was Faith CP? Don't you want to answer my opinion? Oh, Rosa, exactly. Does Remy have teeth? Yes. Okay, wait, what? It was 68 here today for you? Trishy, stop bragging. Do you know what it was with the wind chill factor for me this morning? -6. No, Lolo, I didn't. No. Yeah, sending prayers to California. It was like, I think it was like 6 or 7 degrees this morning. And with the wind chill factor, it's like -6. Spicy disaster. Okay, we'll sing Spicy Disaster. Happy birthday. Oh, thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate you. All right. Let's sing Spicy Disaster. This is my rendition of Marilyn Monroe sang to JFK, without a monkey though, many years ago. Never done it with Remy the first time. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Ow. Happy birthday, Spicy Disaster. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Spicy Disaster. And many more. Really do appreciate you. Aw, thank you, Joe. And Marilyn, aka Justin. Really good. Remy needs a swing, but a baby one. She has a swing. She's got it. Let me tell you something. I've got gifts that I've got to open. We got to do for her that y'all have bought. Do y'all know what you aunties and uncles have bought for this little monkey? Y'all have no, well, y'all do. I mean, I opened it all. She has more than most kids, like human kids. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. It's not the same if you don't flip your skirt. That's my after dark show. That's what that is. We're supposed to in the morning. What about monkey bars, Justin? She's going to have monkey bars in her room. She sure is. Attack of the Spider Monkey. Yes. Exactly. She's ready to go play. We traveled. We was in the car a lot today, and she didn't sleep a lot today, which is kind of rare. But I can't play in snow this year. Yeah. You missed Daisy Basham. I was thinking about your dancing. Yes, Daisy Basham. She was fun. She was fun. I tell you, her big booty Judy. It was fun. You gonna sing bye? You gonna say bye? Hmm? What is this? What is this? What? See the holes? The microphone. Sing. All right, guys. Good night, everyone. Let us watch Remy. Remy would not like it. Remy would not like it. She doesn't even like it. Yes. Daisy Basham, booty large and in charge. She might have to come out of retirement one day. We'll see. A trapeze? Yes, she'll have a trapeze. Good night, CT. Stay safe, buddy. Really praying for you guys out there. It's terrible. Could do Smiley. No. I could do Cassie. I'll do Cassie. Talk to the hand. I love you, Cassie. All right, guys. Does it hurt when she hits you with her tail? No. No, it doesn't. It doesn't hurt. That doesn't hurt. Yeah, I could merge. Yeah. Except I don't know if I could be that nasty, to be honest with you. Remy's attacking me. Yes. She wants my glasses. Smiley would love it. Cruella. Oh, I might. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I could do Cruella. I haven't weighed her. She's got a vet appointment. I think it's next week. A booster. So we'll get an official weight then. Watch her. Step up. Step up on it. Just step up. Okay, fine. All right, guys. Yeah. I don't think she's 5 pounds yet. I don't know. I don't think she's 5 pounds. But she's definitely grown. 6 pounds, you think? And her clothes is a lot fit her better. Fits her better. £4 pounds. I think she's somewhere between 4 and 5 pounds. Mohawk is 5 pounds 7 ounces. She's so funny. No, I don't know. I'm full of shit. She needs her own glasses. Witchy, it wouldn't matter. Would not matter. Like I was saying yesterday, monkeys are very like they're very much like kids. Like you can give them the same thing, but if you have it, yours is somehow better. And so I could give her glasses. Remy chewing the mic ASMR. I have contacts, yeah, Linda. Yeah. I do. Can you hear her click? The little. Fine, wear them. See, she doesn't want them once I take them off. Monkey see, monkey do. Yeah. All right, guys. Love you all. God bless you, each and every single one of you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Say bye, Remy. Say bye. Bye. Say bye. Wave. Remy. Wave. Wave. You're so God, you're stuck up. Good night. Ow.